Hello, and welcome back. Today I'm going to do the promised review of Genesis, the Lamb-Lies Down on Broadway, 45 RPM. It's taken me some time, well, Christmas celebration, etc. Happy New Year, by the way. Because, well, sometimes things don't go the way you planned them. I had some time off about 2-3 days ago, the whole afternoon to myself, and I started to, well, do my usual thought processes and my routines, which is mainly playing the new album and comparing it to the other presents I have. But 5 minutes into this album, and I was not happy. It didn't sound as I expected. I thought there was something wrong. So I checked the stylus, tweaked a little bit here and there, played other records to see if everything was okay. But there was nothing to blame for it. So I said, well, maybe I'm not in the mood, maybe this is not the right day to do it, maybe I've got other things in mind. So I put it off. Next day, started the whole procedure again and played side one. This time I played the whole side. I got the same feeling. I didn't like what I was hearing, and I put it down to the mastering. And I think that sometimes when it's just like that, if you don't like the mastering, you don't like the record. I stopped after side one and played my original pressings, right? I'll show you these pressings. You've probably seen them in my previous video when I was wondering whether to buy or not. I wish I hadn't. This is my favorite pressing. It's a German first pressing from 1974. And I've also got this is a Dutch pressing from the early 80s, and a US pressing. It's an Atco press wool, so that's New York, isn't it? And there was nothing wrong with them. Perfectly all right. So I thought, well, I mean, everyone is raving about it, everyone is saying that it's the best this ever sounded, that is the definitive copy of the album. So I started to get worried. What I decided was I'll play it on my secondary audio system and see if I like it there. Played it on my second audio system and I didn't like it. Now I will try to explain carefully, if you allow me, why I don't, because I want those of you who've bought the album and like it and cherish it, do the same thing for me in return. Tell me why you liked it. My main reference system is a Project Evo and is mounted with a Analogue MP110 stylus, which sometimes I switch from an MP200, classical music and jazz. And I've got a secondary system, that's a cheap turntable, and it's got a short cartridge mounted in it, and it's got one of those pull-out heads, so I can change different. I've got different different cartridges. I've got some Shores, and I've got two Audio Technicas 95, right? So, you know, different points of view. Now, as I was not going to go through the whole process. I knew, because this would have been an overkill, and I thought I would hate the album for the rest of my life. So what I decided was to pick 4 tracks on the album and play those 4 tracks on the 4 copies, and try to explain the differences I found. So, play the 45, the Lamb, Fly in the Windshield. I was waiting for the epic moment, the windshield on the freeway, and that epic moment with stiff guitars, really sounding really strong, right? And I was waiting for the item to open up, and it didn't. The wide stage was as narrow or as wide as on the other pressings. I didn't feel the presence of the instruments the way I'd done on the 45 cell in England. And the first thing that struck me was Peter's voice. Peter's voice is recessed. And that to me is almost a deal breaker. The good thing about that is that I think that the high end has been lifted, and for the other instruments to stand out. But that's not the lamb I'm used to. Maybe it's burned into my retina, and I can't, open my mind and try something new, something different, right? Because I just react against it, and there's nothing I can do. So after that, I played In the Cage. Now, In the Cage has, on the 45 here, has the bass center in the middle. And it is very clear and very strong, but too much for my taste. Right? To me, it's hammering on all the time, right? And distracts you from what's happening around the song. And it's one of my Genesis favorites. And all I could hear for 6 or 7 minutes was the banging of the bass right on my face. I stopped and went for the last one. 3. That was all I could do. Last one was Back in New York City, which I think it is the most demanding song in the album, if that makes sense. And oh God, when I played it on the project, it was sibilance all around. It became even shrill at times. And okay, I said, well, I'll blame the Nagaoka for that, because Nagaokas will tend to sibilance sometimes. So I switched to the Shores and the Audio Technicas, and it was the same thing. It didn't sound right. The drums don't sound right. And there is no analog feel to it, right? I'm just listening to something that is not warm, right? I can't warm into it. It doesn't grow on me, and that's the way it is, right? So I suppose I sell it over the years. That's the sad point about it. But I suppose they will give me good money for it. So lesson learned. I should have waited. I should have done what I usually do, wait for reviews and try to take my time. My advice to you is, this album is very system dependent, right? Check your gear. And please try to listen to some of the album, a vinyl rip, or borrow it from a friend or something before you fork out the money. Those of you who bought it and you like it, congratulations, and I hope you can tell me why. Well, it's a bit of a letdown today, but come on, cheer up, right? I'll be back with more vinyl reviews and more positive ones, right? And Happy New Year again. Bye for now and take care.